Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to the swapper. Let's continue. So ever increasingly I'm running into these puzzles that I'm not figuring out the solutions to. They just don't feel like you can solve them with the limit of the number of people you have. And over here, missing one orb or two orbs is only going to have you be too short, but missing this orb is 9. Missing this orb is 9. So I really only have to get the next two puzzles solved, or go back and do some of the ones I'm skipping, or I don't think I can move the story forward. And this game is frustrating me somewhat in that, or increasingly frustrating me, honestly, in that I'm not figuring out either the concept that needs to be done to solve these puzzles, and then maybe it's just the same concept done multiple times, or that there might be some ability, but we really haven't unlocked any new abilities, so that wouldn't make the most sense. We're in this tethered like asteroid ship, or I don't even know if it really is an asteroid as much as it may just be a let's see, we've got a memory here, but it's all like wavy here. Site 7 internal message, so maybe this is Site 7. We dig enough watches out of the orbiting asteroids, you ever get to wondering whether they're as smart as they're supposed to be? You know, they're supposed to talk to each other. I never heard a peep. And that was John. And then Arn says maybe they don't speak our language. Think about it, they're telepathic, right? If you could sense what I was thinking as I was thinking it, would you read this message? Need to read this message? Or deliver language at all? Seriously, if they were going to talk to us, I reckon they would have done something pretty. It would have to be something pretty damn important. I think you're in the wrong work placement. So yeah, there's just nothing really around that message. Let's see. If I fall here, will I survive? Yes. Let's go up here and just be upside down in this airlock. Yeah, this doesn't feel like a spaceship as much as it feels like it's just an asteroid. And then it doesn't seem like they ever really want you to be upside down when you're doing these puzzles. Honestly, it feels like, though, you could very possibly, had you just been able to jump from this spot to this spot, you would have just automatically fallen probably to that and then turned around. But I mean, I guess you can just get upside down here. This doesn't seem that complicated. Let's see. I guess maybe they're just not going to let you like shoot a person here, because that would be what I would think you were going to do. Okay. So you do an upside down here. Do that. Well, it only really turns off one light. What happens if we do that? I think that is the solution. This is more of a timing puzzle than what we've done before, but not super surprising. So basically, we want to release a body here, and then this is going to fall and turn us around, and then we want to release a body and swap here. And then you're set. I guess the only real thing would be to get it through. So it's basically just get the angle right. And there, we've done it. And that puts us at 91.
Landing gear is moving into position. Trajectory is plotted. Disengage the remaining panels.
She's landing the spaceship and says we have to disengage this third panel, which requires 93, third solar panel. Or I guess we will just crash. I guess that's the thought. But I really only have one more door I can go through. So if I run into another puzzle, yeah, I don't know what else I would do other than just run back to some of the previous puzzles. And we're dangerously close enough to having to collect all of them anyways that I wouldn't be surprised if the game does just require, I guess at this point, probably 100 encryption orbs. Each word I can concentrate, simplify, make match your mind. It is slow. Interesting. There is weirdness certainly here in that you seem to telepathically be able to talk to these rocks when other characters in the logs seem to say that wasn't happening until they started to say yes it was happening, and then it was making people sick in some way, although they're not really explaining what the sickness even was. Alright. I think this is probably just a straight up be upside down. Okay. Yeah, you just have to be upside down at that point. Which... You can't shoot a swapper while you're... You could make a body up here, certainly. It just doesn't seem like there's any items or switches. So... I wonder if this isn't more of a case of, I don't know how this would work. If we had one right side up here, and then we were standing here upside down, and then we shot ourselves into the body right side up here, then how do you get an upside down version over here? Yeah, we could definitely create a body there. Do that. But in what way does that help us? It doesn't. What would probably help is if we could do this and do that. Okay. Now the question though is how do we quickly move, because that would be the next step, is that we would have to be able to get from where we are to past this wall of light. If there was a cube somewhere and we could block this wall of light, that would solve things. I don't think we're blocking this big wall of light here. So yeah, even if we slowed down time and jumped, and I'm just targeting this guy, hoping that maybe there would be some way to jump through all of this, but I really don't even have a way of doing that much. And he's gonna hit that and he's gonna die. And that body standing there does not stop the red light. If we were to even put this here, like, you're still not going to grab a ledge there, almost certainly. Yeah, you can get more of an angled maneuver certainly, but you can't get that much of an angled maneuver. Let's see. And see, I'm now just in a terrible position where I can't really give up, but I also very much have to question how you would accomplish anything here. Like, we can shoot one right there if we want, and if we could take control of it, we would solve the problem right as that goes. We could put one here if we want. And then if there was something around the idea of if these were blue instead of red, that might make some sense. But inside the red you cannot shoot the portals. So eventually that would just lead to this point. Is this another area where if I started upside down it would have changed anything? I'm not sure there's been any areas where that actually changes anything. Like I can make one here, certainly. I can make one here, certainly. Just slow everything down to try and figure out what I'm supposed to do. These two bodies won't even collide with each other, they're just phase right through. If there was a switch somewhere, this would be a different situation. I'm just going to press X in a bunch of places just to see if maybe there is something I'm not seeing. Yeah, it doesn't seem likely that you would be able to bring a block and slide it in here. I'd think that this light might destroy a block as much as anything else. If there was a block somewhere, I would have run into it. So from this point, we can do this. Okay. And that would be fine if each person made a clone when you shot, or each person shot a swapper, but only the one that's in control seems to do that. Okay. So I'm wondering if maybe we could do well, I guess we could do this. So then if we were right here and then we created an upside down version of that, and then we swapped back to this guy. Okay. So let's see, how many copies do we have left? If I made a clone here, I think that's probably a mistake. If I could slow down time and then run right to the edge of the upside down platform and then jump, and then the clone might be in the black area just long enough for me to reach where I need to go and swap into it, because I need this guy here to have his gun outside of this fog by the time this guy here is somewhere in this zone. Okay, we'll try this. Got it. Okay. So now, extremely slowly, we're going to use our last body to go here and do that. And that bumped us up to 100.
You should have been able to detach the last panel by now. I hope we were right to trust those survival instincts.
Now, ironically, no, I haven't been able to unlock the last panel by now. Yeah, this whole vibration in this specific room, I don't agree with. I think that's an odd, unnecessary aspect. We do have a teleporter, so we could come back to this area for this other puzzle later. This was definitely a recent one that I struggled with. As far as needing to have a body here and potentially a body over up here, and then a body way over there to actually collect it and be in control of that body. Okay. I guess the goal here would be to be close to this and in the current light. I cannot seem to make a corpse standing in the red into the blue. Might need one just upside down there. I don't think so. That might change the whole setup though of the puzzle. Let's just quickly put a body there. Okay. So now if I could just control and swap into that guy, I could drop down and get the collectible. So how do I pull that off? Because nothing will stop this guy. If I was to jump, add slow time. Yeah, I think you would just get crushed to death. Hmm. I kinda do wonder if maybe an upside down body here would be helpful. But it can't be really that helpful. Hmm. Like having an upside down body here doesn't actually help. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Now what, though? Like, you need one more body, and you don't want it. So, I guess you could probably do something like this, and then this, and then this, and then this. Arguably, if I am going to be doing that anyways, I should probably come back to this point. Right, best case scenario. No, I can't make a body until I do that. Recoup one, and I can't recoup one until I'm way over here. If anything, it feels like there should be a right side up body here. They could then put a body this way, but that wouldn't help either. Man, there's about a million ways in which things won't help, and one way in which things would help. If there is even one way. What if we went all the way this direction and then walked backwards? And then did this. Just get on the very edge, possibly. Do we have another body? Hey, look at that. That, oddly, might have been the solution. So, then the question comes down to, how do we get yet another body revealed in the spot we're in, while still having everybody where we are? I guess if this guy just didn't exist. So we've got to figure out a situation where everything was the same except for that one aspect. Okay. So we'll start here. We'll put a body here and swap to it. We will put a body here and swap to it. Yeah, we're in the right place. We'll jump up and collect that body. I guess we will shoot ourselves into this body, and then when this flips over, I guess you put a body there. Okay. And then that's it for our bodies. So how do you get that switch at the top done? I mean, this guy inevitably is going to have to come over here, and so it would seem that the one on the top right needs to somehow balance. Also, can I make it one while standing in the purple light? Not really. But once you're in that purple light, you're pretty much doomed. But there's a purple light over here too, so no amount of solutions really addresses that. What if we were to put a body, say, here and avoid the flip? Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna get right on the ledge here. I hope that was good enough, and it wasn't. Okay. So that we did that and did that and then swapped here, then what do you do? Yeah. It's very questionable how that would be helpful. Seems like you're just wasting a lot of resources to do almost exactly the same thing. If there was a way to jump and get back to where we were, might be some benefit there. Okay. How many bodies do we have left? One. Is there a way to potentially kill somebody? Let's jump this way and see. No, by the time you land, it would be too late. So it does seem like you possibly are trying to just get enough space where this guy would still be on that ledge, possibly, by the time the one on the right moved. Or if there was just some way you could get a crazy angle. Maybe that is the trick. You would have to be upside down. Just see if maybe that is the trick. If you're upside down here, can you get a crazy angle while controlling this guy? Perhaps if you jumped even. Really feels like the only trick I've learned so far is this. Which, yeah, if I had an upside down here, or if I could teleport into this guy, that would work. This character just feels like he's extra. We gotta eliminate this extra somehow. It would be premature to make one upside down here. That's kind of all I could do. Make one upside down there, and then walk this way. Maybe with the gun I can swap to this and make another upside down one here. Maybe that's what this is all about. So how many How many bodies do I have now? We've got it. Check the navigator for new accessible consoles. It says. Most of the time that's a indicator that's unnecessary. So yeah, I'm not really happy with that solution, but it does at least perhaps indicate what I have missed up until this point. Now you're in this weird position where there's one I missed over here for 9, and then there's 2 like over here that we've definitely missed, and then there's just sections we haven't accessed, but that could be nearing the end of the game. So let's jump back this way and see if we have learned anything. Yes. Because there's not even like gravity on this one. So what's the trick here? I think you probably start here and then you create one as far as possible here, then walk as far as possible here, then create one to swap here, and then we'll try our best to make one as far as possible there. And the hope would be that I could get enough of an angle to possibly make a corpse. I've only one body left. So this really does just seem like you're stretching it to the highest level. And it just need to... Actually, if I could just get a body... Okay, attempt number 2. The absolute furthest we can get. Then you run over here. Absolute furthest here. Like pixel perfect style puzzling here. Well, that looks like he may fall, but if he just grabs the ledge. Wait, I had it. Come on, I saw it. It's like it wants to snap. Would the lights perhaps come on slower if time was slowed down? Or could I possibly get an angle that's higher? You know what? Let's just risk it. Like, because I might be within the hitbox of it and just die throughout the process. Anyways. Certainly can do that angle. Is there possibly any other solution to this? Yeah, the light does come back on slower, so. So there is enough time, I think, to get... There we go, we've got an angle. And whatever. It does checkpoint us, thank goodness for that. So one more. And this one has two switches, which one switch there does that. Another switch here does that. And this is uniquely the only point we've ever seen where two of your bodies are just removed to start with, which does point to a level of balance that they're trying to have. Okay, so I have two bodies. One could go here and one can't make anything. Can make a body here and then it would fall. Okay. Yeah, I guess my question might be, can I get an angle in slow time that would put a body there and put a body there and put a body there? I mean, I have two bodies, so really doesn't seem like at any point I could do all of that. putting a body there just would allow for swapping. So you kind of do need two. Is there any way, possibly, to kill these two characters over on the side? Because that would solve a lot of problems. It feels like you could probably try to make a body here, then do this, then slow down time, and try and shoot through the top. But if you were shooting through the top, you really wouldn't be able to put another body around it. Maybe you could get a little bit higher with where you're putting a body. If anything, the blue glow seems to get wider when the red light is off. Okay. If we swapped over here, then looked over here, and that killed that guy. We could get back to this point. We can't swap through the walls though. Is there possibly a trick here with the elevator? And falling to your death on the elevator? The light is not even particularly good, so you really need this edge brightly lit. I could make a clone here, certainly. But I think I would want to make a clone here. And before I would have been able to shoot upward and make a clone there, this guy fell. So I guess for an experiment we should do this. Just to see what would happen. As far as just killing one guy. And maybe swapping. We only have one body left. The real question, I guess, would be, can we jump all the way over here? Yes. Okay. Going to put this right on the edge and swap to this guy, and then be completely unable to make anything. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like you can solve this puzzle with the number of people you have. Like, The main move, I guess, would have been to see. Let's see. What if we were to put one here? I don't think that changes anything. Like, you put one there, then if you were to try and back into it and eat that one, it wouldn't help you. If you were to put one here and then you were to try and back into it and eat that one, it wouldn't help you. At the end of the day, you're still going to have two characters there. This light does indicate to me that there's probably a goal to do that. And this light indicates to me that there's probably a goal to do something like this. And then that leaves me with no more bodies. Even if I was able to get a clone up to this point, I wouldn't really be able to walk to the right to stand on platforms. Which that is the only thing I was thinking, is that possibly the goal is to have a character standing on platforms, the top platform, then fall down, then walk to the right. Walking to the left's not a problem. Let's see, at what point could you possibly make a clone? If this is perhaps just a pixel perfect puzzle. Doesn't seem like you can make a clone any further than that. There. And even that seems not to really want to work. There we go. So I have one body. So if I was to put a body in here and swap, I wouldn't be able to make another body. You might as well just put one on the ledge as much as anything else. If I could get the angles right. This guy can shoot me, but he wouldn't be able to shoot there. What if we jumped like that? Okay. Yeah, and we used this section as our blocker so that we can move things in different directions. So we do this. Then we run and jump and do that. And then if we tried to put this let's get as close to the edge with the switch here so that we're just barely standing on the switch. I'm not sure that's actually even that necessary. All right. Okay. So that's there. And then in slow motion, I'm just going to walk forward. And that let off See, it just doesn't work. By the time we're here, that body is nowhere close to being there. Yeah, and I feel like I've learned a lot around this puzzle, and yet I still don't see how I do this. Yeah, because nothing is gonna really stop the fall of a character. Let's see. Yeah, nothing's really gonna slow down the fall when I have to walk backwards. So that guy falls down. Okay. Then maybe we just walk to the left and swap. And then we walk more to the left and kill that one. Oh, that is the solution, isn't it? And then we make our match here. And then we'll just walk a little bit and get it. Well, I've both proven myself to be wrong and upsetted myself on the fact that this can be solved. I wanted to go over here and just make sure that there wasn't any kind of collectible or something in this area. Those logs from homes elements. I'm still trying to find the other two. This might be the prime example of a puzzle that we've already read this one. You can see here quite a lot of this. Message from home number 3. Yeah, I still think there's a message from home number 2 and number 1. Maybe they're both hidden, though, in the later part of the game. Well, at least that catches us up to most of this. Let's now go see if we can get this other puzzle done. Let's see, this was this puzzle. And since the strategy does seem to be to kill things, I think I kind of understand what I'm supposed to do here. Let's see, do this, shoot that, do this, shoot that, do this. Here, shoot that, move that there. I think I may have messed up. Yep, not quite close enough. Okay. You need to stand right under that. Do that one. Swap. Do that one. Do that one and swap. Put that right there. And jump. Swap to this, then jump to get a body back. Put one there. Everything is set, except for the fact that I don't think we have any more bodies. Well, actually, it still doesn't really feel that complicated. Let's reset everybody. The trick must be to set up one here, do this, and then set up. Wow. Okay. Here. We need one that would end up upside down. So, possibly, the trick is to just bring one really close here. Then jump to this. Just hope that that's good enough. Seems like there's even a level of snap here that the game is trying to have with you to help you out. It really needs to be crisscrossed, though. I mean, it possibly would have worked there as I did it there, but it definitely seems like it would be easier to have a guy right about there, and then maybe I really should put him way over there, actually. We're going long today. Right, I'm gonna put the guy as far to the right as possible. Swap this. That seems like that is close enough to do that. And then do that. Go ahead and just put one here. That one probably doesn't matter too much. And then put one here. Now, when I jump, I should get 2 people back. Somehow. No, I only got 1 back because I'm not controlling this guy. Now I have 2 people back. And there we go. So now we're up to the 124. Maybe there's only 125 in the game. I wouldn't be surprised also if it was 150 because we're getting it in groups of 9 anyways. Yeah, I guess all I can say is I slept in between the last big bunch of episodes I recorded, and now that I've slept and now that I solved the solution to one of those puzzles that opened the door in my mind as far as the similar practices you would use to solve the solution in several of those other puzzles. And that's allowed me to succeed here. Wow, that was close. In a way that I very possibly would have never figured out had I just kept on playing during the same day. Now, inherently, there is this problem as a YouTuber in that you are just marathoning video games. And yes, I know a lot of gamers do only play on the weekends or beat a game in 1 or 2 nights. That works for a lot of games. It probably doesn't work particularly well for puzzle games. And everybody is different, obviously, so I mean, what can you really say? Well, let's see if there's something here to see. This is just a big old gravity reverser. I thought there might be some kind of secret thing, but it doesn't seem like there is. I'm not sure we've even been to this area before. This is the last solar panel, and so the map has once again rotated, and we'll release the solar panel, and that'll move us into the last section. I wouldn't be surprised if there's at least 2 more hours, or at least an hour and a half of content left. We can see there's a console, there's a door here, there's a door here. Overall, though, I don't believe there's anything else in the map to interact with. And this, we already saw this was like the head watcher rock. So that feels like that's probably your final boss fight as far as the game is concerned. I suspect there might be some kind of secret in here, but boy, I honestly, if I was going to try and get like all of the secret home messages from home, I probably would just look it up online, and I probably would just check the other achievements, because it doesn't seem like there's too many of them, unless they're glitched or they're just not showing up for me for some reason. We've had a long list of dialogue stuff, and none of it particularly is that interesting. We've had a lot of narrative spoken to us, not really revealing too much, but the actual game itself has just been puzzles throughout the beginning all the way to the end here, with no variety. And arguably, if you're going to do that, maybe you should have stopped at 100 orbs, and even at that, they are cheating because they were giving us groups of 9 orbs for this last section. It would be unlikely that you would want to ever play this game a second time. It's hard to ever suggest to play a puzzle game a second time, because you'll remember the answers even if you think you won't. But yeah, in particular here, there's possibly one big twist at the end, and that's it. And honestly, for all forms of media, the idea of one big twist at the end has to really stop. There needs to be several twists and turns throughout a narrative. The whole M. Night Shyamalan, he was dead the whole time twist. That's about the last time you got away with one big twist, and you need probably in that movie to reference it, which I can't even remember the name of it. That movie did a really great job of like subtly giving you clues without even letting you realize that you were getting clues to the big twist at the end. In a game like this, we've gotten a couple clues, but like, as far as my guess as to what a twist would be, if there even is a twist in this game, it's going to be that the character you're playing as is the exact same body and maybe split brain, split mind as the other character you've seen, which it seems like there's only one character and with 2 personalities, or you are one of the watchers in the body of a human this whole time, which maybe there's something to that idea, or you're some kind of weird amalgamation of the entire crew, or the whole thing is just a simulation, or the whole thing is a test by the watchers. At the end of the day, the watchers don't feel like they're really a threat, and maybe they should be a threat at some point. For every time we walk past one of these rocks, maybe they should either cause a mental glitch to happen to change the way things look in the room, or maybe they send out a little bit of a spark of electricity at you and you have to like taser them with a like taser type shock gun to get past them, or they shoot little pebbles at you and hurt you. Something very basic would actually make the watchers feel like a threat, when right now they don't feel like a threat at all. They feel like they're completely inert and incapable of affecting the world around you. And if they were inflicting some kind of mental sickness on our character, then we probably should be hallucinating something spooky or disturbing, or at least weird. And it doesn't seem like we really are. Which that definitely gets back to the visuals of this game being far too dark for a game that obviously does not want to commit to actually telling a scary visual story. Maybe psychologically, as far as what is the nature of a soul, what is the nature of consciousness, maybe it's trying to touch upon that, but I mean, these are really things for philosophy lectures, not video games, because anytime a video game writer tries to touch upon deep philosophy, they just really show themselves incapable of saying anything new or interesting around those ideas, because it's all surface level, and most video game developers, I imagine, didn't take a lot of philosophy in college, if they took any, and so it comes off like a stoned teenager talking about philosophy more than a deep college professor who's spent decades thinking about it and researching it and listening to other people's opinion about it. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. There's also a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist to support me further. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.